The future is more exciting than you think. Dr. Michio Kaku, for pop science lovers and readers, does he need an introduction? He has already synthesized, simplified, and communicated a lot of useful scientific research to us, the general public, through his books and lectures and podcasts aplenty. But his latest work was definitely something we can call the icing on the cake, quantum supremacy. Before we actually dive into the book itself, let's start off by reviewing the core concept behind it. Quantum computing. Quantum computers have been called the ultimate computer who, instead of computing on tiny transistors, compute on the tiniest possible object, the atoms themselves. This enables them to easily surpass the power of our greatest current supercomputer. Quantum computers have the massive potential to attack problems that digital computers can never solve, even if they have an infinite amount of time. So, how do they function? Let's start with an analogy so that we can better understand. Digital computers compute solely on a series of 0 south and 1 south. Quantum computers, on the other hand, simultaneously analyze all possible paths at the same time and with lightning-fast speed. An example, when asked to predict the result of a coin flip, which could be either a heads or a tails, a conventional computer computes on the possibility of either of these two results and assigns heads a value of 0 and tails a value of 1. The quantum computer, however, will also compute on the possibilities between 0 and 1 and will include 0 and 1 as well in all its calculations of probability, concomitantly. Thus, quantum computers are far superior in power and speed and have the potential to analyze the deepest and most intricate mechanisms occurring inside the smallest of atoms, and to decode them to better decipher how certain molecular processes work and how to detect anomalies in them as swiftly as possible so that we may counter them. So, Dr. Kaku talks about the many amazing scientific discoveries that were and are being made. The world's very first discovered analog computer found in 1901 in the Aegean Sea, the contributions of Alan Turing towards code deciphering and computer science overall, and Richard Feynman's rewriting of the quantum theory in terms of the principle of least action and his work on path integrals. These were some of the many others who contributed amazingly and vastly to this field and whose remarkable insights shaped the path to quantum computing to this day. Also discussed were novel and eye-opening concepts like quantum medicine, how genes can be resequenced and fixed, and then injected back into diseased patients for optimal outcomes. Additionally, how nuclear fusion reactors appear to be better, more cost-effective, and efficient than nuclear fission reactors was intriguing. And so was how quantum computers, with their power to analyze and simulate chemical reactions at the molecular level and sift through vast amounts of data far quicker, would prove crucial in detecting abnormal processes occurring at an early stage and then advising on proper treatment plans so that further damage can be prevented. It was also touched upon very small and fragile structures. Scientists need to use special equipment to minimize disturbance from the outside world and control the temperature to near absolute zero in order to ensure atoms are in coherence sans unwanted vibrations and quantum computers can work. And this naturally led to an appreciation of one of the greatest natural miracles which we seldom notice: photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a quantum process, yet does not need a temperature near absolute zero. It occurs at normal temperatures in the environment. Scientists are still amazed at this and continue to look for ways to create a sort of artificial photosynthesis process to optimize our advancement. There was also discussion on quantum computers, like anything else, falling into the wrong hands and posing great threats as far as cybersecurity is concerned. And there was much more. Lastly, the chapter on a hypothetical day in the life in 2050 was fun and gave me a good glimpse, or digest, of all that I read about. How personal AI assistants would be around you all day, just like we kind of see in the science fiction novels and movies, as mobile phones, sensors, etc. And, through the power of quantum computing, we'll be able to detect cancer at a very early stage and very meticulously analyze and counter it to reduce it simply a flu for that time. It was all fascinating and hopeful to learn. Verily, the world has advanced and, if we read carefully and keep up with the progress in the sciences, can be on its way to achieving unimaginable heights. Now, let's get to our book scoring. First up, we have writer intellect. Dr. Kaku is a renowned scientist who has written several physics and science-related books for the general audience and regularly can be seen in podcasts and shows because of his knowledge. So, an easy 9.5 here. Secondly, consideration of different viewpoints. Again, in a book of this kind, it is difficult to see how he could have incorporated others' opinions. He did include research different scientists, though, so I'll give him a very decent 8.0 here. Third up, applicability in real life, 9.0. Quantum Supremacy gives you a lot of insight about scientific concepts and the sorts of research being conducted. You'll learn well here and will be able to plan even better for the future. Lastly, we have book content, 7.5. A bit less here because, I believe, he should have dedicated at least a chapter on the functioning and mechanisms behind quantum computers. Also, his writing style on all topics discussed is a bit repetitive, but still, a lot of fruitful knowledge here. So, this all adds up to book score of 34 out of 40. That's an 85%. Extremely decent indeed, although I expected this jam-packed tome to get a higher score. For anyone looking to catch up on the latest advancements in science, specifically physics and AI-related stuff, and look ahead regarding what best to pursue and do in the future, I would highly recommend this book. It is jam-packed with great research and in typical Michio Kaku style writing. So, what do you think? How will quantum computers impact the world? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe and share, and drop your suggestions in the comment section. Until next time, take care.